Today we are starting Active Directory Basics. Now you will see that I've done a little bit of everything. This is only because there were times when I didn't have the chance to film myself or basically just to continue to keep this 300 something days on, achievements, just bullshit stuff. But anyway, today we are starting Active Directory Basics. We have the introduction, which basically will tell us what we will learn in this module. And so as I said, I think I've said it, Active Directory Basics is what will start now in the complete beginner path on TryHackMe. Task number 2, Windows domains. I see we have something to do with this attack box. Let's start the attack box, boss. Picture yourself. Okay, let's make this. Okay. Picture yourself administering a small business network with only 5 computers and 5 employees. In such a tiny network, you will probably be able to configure each computer separately without a problem. You will manually log into each computer, create users for whoever will use them, and make specific configurations for each employee's account. If users' computers stop working, you will probably go to their place and fix the computer on site. While this sounds like a very relaxed lifestyle, let's suppose your business suddenly grows and it now has 157 computers and 320 different users located across 4 different offices. Well, I would like to own that company. Would you still be able to manage each computer as a separate entity, manually configure policies for each of the users across the network, and provide on-site support for everyone? The answer is most likely no. To overcome these limitations, we can use a Windows domain. Simply put, a Windows domain is a group of users and computers under the administration of a given business. The main idea behind the domain is to centralize the administration of common components of a Windows computer network in a single repository called Active Directory. The server that runs the Active Directory service is known as a domain controller. So basically, in a company that grows or has already a lot of employees and devices, Active Directory is basically allows us to configure all those devices from one place, right? Time efficiency is like keyword here, right? The main advantages of having configured Windows domain are centralized identity management, managing security policies, right? In other words, again, it's just simplification of everything. Centralized identity management, all users across the network can be configured from Active Directory within minimum effort. Managing security policies, you can configure security policies directly from Active Directory and apply them to users and computers across the network as needed. A real-world example. If this sounds a bit confusing, chances are that you have already interacted with a Windows domain at some point in your school, university, or work. In school or university networks, you will often be provided with a username and a password that you can use on any of the computers available on campus. Your credentials are valid for all machines because whenever you input them on a machine, it will forward the authentication process back to the Active Directory where your credentials will be checked. Thanks to Active Directory, your credentials don't need to exist in each machine and are available through the network. Active Directory is also the component that allows your school or university to restrict you from accessing the control panel of the school or the university machines. Policies will usually be deployed throughout the network so that you don't have administrative privileges over those computers. Unless you're a hacker, know what I'm saying? Let's test them. Welcome to TryHackMe Inc. During this task, we'll assume the role of the new IT admin at TryHackMe Inc. As our first task, we have been asked to review the current domain tryhackme.local and do some additional configurations. you will have administrative credentials over a pre-configured domain controller to do the tasks. To be sure to click. Alright, so basically this is the new way of telling us to start the machine. Usually we had the machine with, when this symbol was active, we usually had start the machine here. Right, we can see here the name of the machine, and in a couple of seconds we'll see the IP of it, expiration time, and yeah, basically that's it. Should you prefer to connect to it via RDP, you can use the following credentials, right? We can use this to connect via RDP. We'll have the same interface that we will have in a couple of seconds. Note, when connecting via RDP, use the TryHackMe administrator as the as the username to specify you want to log in using the administrator on the TryHackMe domain. Since we will be connecting to the target via the RDP, this is also a good time to start the attack box. Unless you are using your own machine, answer the questions below. In a Windows domain, credentials are stored in a centralized repository called Active Directory. The server in charge of running the Active Directory service is called Domain Controller. We can see it over here. The domain controller. The domain is tryhackme.com. Here is the domain controller, right? That manages these file servers, database servers, workstations, desktops, right? From the domain controller, basically we manage everything.